Just like and you at home, if you want to get in touch, leave a comment and get involved.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But first, let's meet our guests properly. When did you girls find out you were kind of doing this?
Last night.
Did you?
Last night. Fantastic. How about you both in Cardiff here?
I'm Ashton Manor, so not far from the Philly.
What were you?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we had no context either. They were like, you need to go and do an interview. We're like, okay.
To be fair though, if they'd have said all these in it, would you still
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, warrior!
Every shirt has its own story. I want to explore the stories that represent our history, our culture, and our future.
We don't have to follow that kind of, affiliated, constrained, branding of football, and actually we're here and we're just gonna do our own thing.
I might be the manager, but I'm not different from any supporter or player, or we've all got the same responsibility. We all got to bring everybody together, but it's not the players, it's not the management, it's everybody.
Hi, I'm Gemma Granger, Cymru Women's National Team Manager.
And then you see the referee put the whistle to his mouth, and that was the best feeling ever.
Every shirt has its own story. I want to explore the stories that represent our history, our culture, and our future.
The idea was basically to create a jersey that we hadn't necessarily seen before, that obviously spoke that zeitgeist of Wales and what they sort of stand for. Spoke about the national identity, so the graphic sort of gives an impression or speaks that sort of dragon scale, so it's wearing that your dragon on your shirt.
Yeah.
So it's not just the crest, but obviously you're embodying the dragon.
Shmai a chroeso. This is Red Wall on Tour, a brand new show streaming across FAW socials full of football, music, comedy and Welsh culture. But Tommy, where are we tonight?
We are in the fantastic Newport Indoor Market, and this has been here for over 150 years. Recently received a £7 million renovation, and you can really tell, Gabby.
You can, it's impressive, I must say, and there's so much you can do here as well.
Absolutely, you can paint your nails, you can read a comic, you can do whatever you like. Fantastic.
And coming up, we have an amazing show for you. We have comedy from Simon Emanuel, music from Tinty and the Bucket Hats, and an exclusive first look at the documentary from the FAW originals on Red Wall Plus called The Road to Qatar. So a jam-packed show for you this evening. And we must introduce you to our guest right now, of course, Wales legend Neville Southall.
Hello.
And the lovely TJ and Ruby from Cardiff City Ladies. Well, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you. How are we?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, excited.
I tell you what, I mean, these are exciting times, aren't they, guys? I mean, how excited are you three for this World Cup coming up? Neville comes to you first.
Well, us two are. I'm not sure about you on the end, which is a bit English. So yeah.
A bit English, I like that. But no, I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? I mean, the feel-good factor around the squad and everything like that. And, you know, you can talk about, you know, we'll get onto that later about the host nation, but we're there and it's the first time in 64 years.
Yeah, well, it's there to be enjoyed and try and win it. There's no point going there if you're not going to try and win it. So go out there with no fear and try.
I love that. I agree as well. It's the point, like you said, we're not there to make up the numbers, are we? We're there to go and win it, and I believe it.
Nothing to fear at all.
Girls, are you as confident as Nev here? Or?
Yeah, I'm so excited that we're there and just really want them to enjoy it, and the fans back home to really enjoy the experience.
And can Wales go all the way?
Well, even though I'm not Welsh, I've got to do as well. Oh, that's good to hear, good to hear. Of course, now the team have arrived in Qatar. Exciting times for them. We've seen them getting up to all sorts of photo shoots and of course back to training there. But now, what have you made of the team that Rob Page announced?
I think it's going to be how he manages the whole squad. It's a really hot country, it's how you recover, and you want to try and keep your best players fit. And it's interesting to see how we can juggle and to see what you can get the best out of it. I mean, the first game's not important. You don't lose that, then you've got a real good platform. It's going to be interesting in the second one because we have to go and beat Iran. So, because it's quite warm, because we can force the pace of the game, we might have to look at the first game, maybe a little bit more defensive. Second game, we've got to go and get the points. The third one then is, you know, we could be going into an incredibly boring game where we don't have to do anything. Apart from just not get beat. So the first one's the most important. You start with that, all the camp settles down. Don't forget, it's been a funny season. The Premier League's been up and down. People have been up and down. So I'm looking at the 3 or 4 lads who come and settle the team down and get a good result in the first one.
I've got to ask you, Nev, as well, as probably the greatest goalkeeper of all time. I'm pretty sure everyone here tonight will agree with that. The goalkeeper situation, it's a position where we're very strong at the moment. It's going to be an interesting pick, isn't it? A lot of people think Hennessy will start, but whoever is in there, we're going to be very strong in that position.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I don't think it matters who you pick. I do think he'll go for Wayne. I think the same made Wayne made. I think he's got to the World Cup in some stage. So I think he'll stick with Wayne. But I think whoever plays will be all right in that part. But again, you're going to watch that and you don't have the beat. They're going to have to do short, sharp sessions. The big fellas, you don't know how tired they're going to get. And what we want to do, whoever doesn't play the first game and run out in the second, hopefully keep getting some experience as well. It's interesting, like I say, this isn't about the team, this is about managing the squad and the recovery and how you lead up to the games, because you can't do too much. And I'm hoping, because it is a bit warmer, it will suit Gareth and Aaron because it will keep the muscles warm. So hopefully, and the pace might be that slightly bit slower to allow Gareth to actually burst into little situations, so he won't have to go flat out anywhere.
Yeah, and the fact that you said we have choices then. Of course, Danny Ward has been doing brilliantly now for his club. Of course, he's had 6 clean sheets in the last 8 matches, so it's good that we know we can possibly count on him if we can change things as things go along.
Yeah, well, I say that. I don't think it matters who you play because they're both doing well. I mean, Wayne would probably like to play a bit more, but obviously he's not. You know, you look at Ward, he really because he had a bit of a torrid time at the beginning of the season with Leicester. They seem to have steadied, he seems to have steadied, and he's coming into some good form in the World Cup. But I think Pagey will go with somebody who's probably, he thinks it trusts, not as he trusts it. I mean, they've made the decision, he's made a great save in the playoffs, so I think he might go with Wayne actually. But whoever you get, I think it'll be alright. Yeah. Like I say, it's about the squad, it's not about individuals. It's going to be, this World Cup will show how deep Wales' squad is going to be.
Absolutely. And girls, TJ and Ruby, I mean, who are you looking forward to seeing in action, and who do you think is going to be the star of the tournament for Wales?
I think, personally, I'm excited to see Gareth Bale play. I think that's on everyone's minds. But I think the squad as a whole, I'm excited to see what they can do, how far they can go. And it's a situation that these players haven't been in before. You know, we haven't been to a World Cup in so many years. But I think it's important that they feel us and that they want to do as well as they can in these games, because like we said, we're not here to make up numbers, we're here to see how far we can get. So I think it's really important that every member of the team goes out and just does their absolute all.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's, you know, it's just so exciting, isn't it? I mean, the World Cup is on us. Feels weird being really cold, looking forward to a World Cup. Usually we're in shorts and bucket hats and all this. I can see a couple of got bucket hats here, it's good to see. But yeah, I mean, it's a strange World Cup, but it's still exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think as well for Wales and England, it's important that they know there's people at home watching, because obviously not a lot of people are going to be able to go out and support from Qatar, but it's nice for them to be able to look back and see how many people are supporting them from home.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very different World Cup to what anyone's used to, isn't it? Both the players and the fans, of course. But we have to, of course, bring around to the women's side, of course. They've had an incredible year in terms of attendance, you know, skyrocketing to over 15,000. What did you make of that World Cup qualifier?
I think that it's good that we were disappointed that we missed out. I think it goes to show how far we've actually come. Because I think if we had lost a game and just thought, oh well, then we're not improving. So to make it this far and now be disappointed means that we can go on in the next few games and kind of know what we want to achieve. And with the attendance, I think that's just great for young girls and boys in Wales to be able to see that we have a women's national team that attracts people to come and watch them play. Is really important for the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just great to see so many, like you mentioned there, boys and girls, you know, but especially young girls who they look up to these women now as heroes, and they want to follow in their footsteps. That's fantastic for the women's game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, and I think from on the back of the Euros, England winning the Euros, I think that has massively boosted attendances all around England and Wales. So that helped massively.
Do you notice a difference in the domestic game with you girls as well? Do you notice maybe more people coming to watch, or more girls and boys maybe starting football as well?
I definitely, in the Welsh Women's League, I know that the attendances are getting like a lot bigger, and I think it just creates like a bigger platform for all girls, young girls, and like you said, boys, to see that it is a sport that is growing and it deserves like more, like a bigger audience, so it can grow into like what the men's football's like.
It's definitely having such a positive impact, I think, isn't it, overall? What do you think now for the future of the Wales national side, the women? Have you been watching as well?
Yeah, I'm watching all the time. I think you've got to go back to grassroots. If your grassroots ain't strong, you're not going to have that many people coming through, and you should now have to go across the border to play in a decent standard. So I think we've got to look at how we progress the women's game in obviously a grassroots level, how we give the girls opportunities to play. Because obviously at this time, people are going to make decisions about whether they go and pay to play football or eat food or put the heating on. So I think maybe some of the money they get from the World Cup may have to go on facilities to actually make sure that they're free for the girls. And I just think you've got to make sure that the grassroots is really strong. But every women's league in Wales needs to be strong. More importantly, it needs the profile and it needs the respect of everybody else. And the Euros have done a bit of that, but we need to work hard at publicising how well these girls are doing.
There's something going on, and of course those icons like Jess Fishlock and doing incredible things both in their club game and for Wales. You know, she's probably still going to keep on going. I don't know when she'll stop, but what do you think keeps her going so strong and then keep winning the play for Wales?
I think it's her love and passion for the country. You can tell when she plays or when she's speaking about Wales that she absolutely adores Wales. And I think that's what keeps her going, and that's what keeps her sane, is being able to play for her country.
I just wanted to ask Nev as well, just moving on slightly, but with the FAW, it's about inclusion and stuff like that, and the FAW have done wonders with the women's game. Another issue with the FAW that's come up recently is the name of the national team. We want to change it to Cymru, just as a name. I'm just wondering your opinion on that. I mean, it seems to have got a really good reaction, thankfully.
So why not call it by the Welsh name?
I thought you'd say that, and I hoped you'd say that.
Yeah, but I don't see, every time we go somewhere else, they always call it by their own name. Every time we played abroad, it's always been their name. So yeah, why aren't we proud of our nation? Why aren't we proud of our name? We should stand up and say, yeah, we're Cymru. Come and beat us if you can.
Absolutely. I just wanted to ask the crowd here tonight, what do we think about the name change? Cymru, are we happy? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I can't see any thumbs down, I don't think. Anyway, where's John Morgan? But no, I think that's pretty, it says it all really. And the reaction on social media, Gabby, as well, I think it's been overwhelmingly positive.
It's been positive, yeah, and it's been lovely to see. Like, I'm a passionate Welsh woman, Welsh speaker as well. So yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. Like you mentioned, when you go to other countries, that's what they call themselves by their name in their language. So why not Wales?
Absolutely, and I think as well. I think something you've said, Nev, actually on Twitter is, you've been a learner yourself, Nev. Like the Welsh language belongs to all of us, not just Welsh speakers, isn't it? So I think it's a positive move, and
everybody's got to write something in Welsh, haven't they? Yeah. So sometimes it gets the interest in the language.
Well, are there any comments coming on from anyone at home, Tommy, on social media?
We have got some comments here. UTC, which means up the county, I believe. I think we're in that part of the world, don't we? But yeah, I mean, we've got. Here we go. Do you know what? Don't get a lad from the north to try and work technology. There's no point. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you want to get involved in the comment section. Yeah. I don't know about you're better off than me, Gabby. I've got an absolute clue with this.
Yeah, well, like Tommy said, get involved. We want to hear from you, hear your comments, your thoughts, and anything that we discuss. So yeah, make sure you get in touch, and you may see your name pop up on the screen as well, right, Tommy?
That's absolutely right. So we are Daniel J. Harris. Great show, guys. So thank you very much, Dan. Yeah, we're enjoying it.
Well, of course, last week we showed you a sneak preview of After the Wales Shirt, an exclusive documentary on Redwall Plus with former international Robert Earnshaw, and now we have a treat for you all. Time for another exclusive clip from another Redwall Plus documentary, The Road to Qatar.
I remember the game because we scored one of the best goals I've seen at international level. I thought the way they played it was phenomenal.
That's the most important game for me. If you look at the game where we qualified that night.
You don't realise how much you miss something until it's gone. Being back here, you realise how much we miss days like this.
You know you're that close now. You don't want anything to go wrong or not do anything that's not going to give you the best chance to qualify.
Well, exciting stuff there. I, for one, can't wait to watch it on Red Bull Plus, so make sure you sign up. It's been officially launched this afternoon, so yeah, get involved and you can watch a range of documentaries on Red Bull Plus. But back to, of course, the qualifying campaign. We saw a trailer there for Road to Qatar. What was your favourite memories of that campaign? Of course, there's plenty of them to stand out, but what was your favourite?
I think for me, the Ukraine game, I think rightly so, the whole world was kind of behind Ukraine for what was going on, but I think I watched last night the Together Stronger documentary, and Rob Page said they had to put emotions aside, and they showed that when they went out and played against them. And when the final whistle blew, I was out in Cardiff and it was just like a volcano, everyone just erupted. It was just such a memorable moment and one I'll never forget.
Yeah, incredible moment. So what about you, Nev? What was your favourite memory? Other than the Ukraine game, of course, that's probably everyone's favourite sort of memory.
I think Ukraine showed the mentality of the squad.
Yeah.
I just think that, and it's a way that the fans treated the Ukrainian fans, I thought was amazing. I think, yeah, you can have sport there, but you can also have the compassion there. And I think we showed both sides of it on the night. And I know there was Ukrainians going around town, being shown a good time by all the Welsh fans and I think that sums up what sport should be. It should bring people together, not set them apart. And I think that night brought everybody together, no matter what their problems were. It gave them something to believe in.
Yeah, definitely. I think that kind of shows how Welsh people are as well. The values that we have, and sometimes things are bigger than football.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely, yeah. No, and I think, like I say, it felt like the whole world was against us, like you say there. But again, strength of character for the lads to get the result. At the end of the day, there was a game of football to be won, and they went out and won it. I just wanted to sort of ask you about Robert Page now. I mean, he's come in difficult circumstances. He's done unbelievably well, hasn't he? It's incredible what he's achieved. We know the circumstances surrounding his appointments. He was thrust into it, and he's just worked wonders.
I think he's done well. I think he's not one that seeks publicity. I think he just gets on with the job. I think that's good. I think his coaching staff are exactly the same. They are Welsh, aren't they? They don't really want all the fuss. They just want to get on and do the job. And I think that's a really good thing. Doesn't seem to be any egos in that squad. You've got some big names there, but everyone gets treated the same. I think they've done really, really well. It's going to be interesting to see how Page's reputation comes out, because if they do well, is that going to open up more opportunities for him? Or if they don't do so well, is it going to make a difference to the long-term planning? So yeah, I think it'd be an interesting tournament for him, but I think he's done remarkably well. He's just signed a new contract. But also, because they've been to the Euros, they have the belief and they know what a tournament's about now. It's not as if they're going in to the first tournament, they have no idea. And because they've got a good mix of young who have no fear, the older ones to try and settle them down. I think they've got probably the best chance we've ever had about getting in the group and progressing, I think.
And girls, Nev said it all there, really, hasn't he? But what an unbelievable job he's done. You big Robert Page fans?
Yeah, I think he's a really humble guy, and I think the squad announcement in Tyler's Down just goes to show that he hasn't forgot where he's come from, even though he's doing so amazing. Like when they compared us to USA during the Empire State Building, it just shows that, like I said, he hasn't forgot where he's come from.
Absolutely, can't say any more than that, can we?
Contrast between Wales and maybe other countries, and it's good to remember those grassroots where we come from, and the fact that, of course, Jimmy Murphy as well led Wales to the last World Cup, and to see him going back to Tylerstown was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
Absolutely. And just moving on again slightly now.
So it's on buildings or countryside, they're built on people.
Yeah.
This country's not great because of buildings
or
scenery, it's great because of the people. And they're just representing the people when they go out there and all the values that we have. And I think they embody the I suppose, all the values that we carry.
Nev, talk about representing people and talk about values and things like that. You're quite the Twitter icon these days. Obviously football icon's a Twitter icon, but you've championed a lot of causes and things like that, and a lot of people have been quite inspired by things you've said on social media. Just wanted to ask you about that, really.
Well, I don't know whether I inspire anybody or bore anybody. I think people get a good night's sleep when I speak to them most of the time. Yeah, but I think, look, it's good to do. Why can't we be nice to each other? What are we in this country for? but to help each other. And a good government always looks after its most vulnerable. And at the moment, the government in Westminster aren't, so we've got to do it ourselves, and we've done it through COVID, and we'll carry on doing it. And people have just got to help each other. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, girls, the World Cup in Qatar has been, a lot of controversy around it. But what are your thoughts on it being held there?
I think, in my opinion, we can't change the values that country hold. But for us, I think it's important back home that we kind of show that we don't agree with like the human rights that's going on out there and the homophobia kind of stuff. But I think it's good that in our countries back home we put our arms around each other and we say, look, this isn't what should be happening and we don't agree. But for them, they have to go out there and do a job in the World Cup. And when they come back home, hopefully we'll all be happy with the result or whatever. But yeah, I think it's wrong what's going on out there. But in terms of football, they just have to go out there and do the job.
Yeah, I suppose it's an opportunity, isn't it, to make a difference, to maybe make a change. And there's a lot of people going out to Qatar to represent Wales. Lauren McAllister, Jess Fishlock for one as well. And they'll be going out there representing Wales and hopefully, make that stand and bring some change about in the world. Yeah.
By showing tolerance and having education, then hopefully that's the way forward. If you try and shove it in somebody's face, they're going to react to you. So the thing has to be really subtle and show our tolerance and show the way we treat people, and hopefully the things will grow within the country. I know there's a lot of stuff going on about the migrant workers. FIFA have had 12 years and they're only now starting to worry about the problems there. They should have done it 12 years ago. And I think the one big problem that shows up for me is the transparency around the process of getting the World Cup. Because you can ask as many players as you want if they want to go there. That's out of their hands. So you should be looking at who actually made this decision in the first place and what the process was. And I've yet to meet anybody who could tell me what the actual process is of getting a World Cup, because you'd like to think they'd have a good human rights thing, they'd have a good tolerance around LGBT, and they treat their people properly. So why are we going there in the first place? Why did we go to Russia? And I think maybe the financial opportunities have outweighed the moral values of FIFA.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
I mean, from one extreme to the other in some ways now, Gabby. I believe we're welcoming a very funny man onto the stage, aren't we?
We are indeed, of course, Tommy. I think you could be one of these as well. A football fan that maybe thinks he can be a comedian, right? But now we found a comedian who is a football fan as well, intertwining both comedy and football. It's the amazing Simon Emmanuel. He's been on the circuit doing comedy for a while now, but making his debut on Red Bull on Tour. Here he is.
Good. 2 days ago, I had an email and it said, Simon Emmanuel, would you like to do stand-up comedy in a loud, cold market? And I said, yes, but only if you can guarantee that half the crowd have got their back to me. One man spilt his pint. There are at least 9 children in the audience. There's a giant bucket hat watching. And it's absolutely freezing cold. So I'm going to be doing some stand-up comedy. I'm going to start with an impression. £100 to anyone who can tell me who's this, right? Who's this? Give me £10,000 and you can have a back. Who's that, mate? Who is it? It's not your dad. No, that's mental. It's not your dad. Anyone over there? Give me £10,000 and you can have a back. Who is it? Anyone? By the way, this is all I do for 5 minutes. I've got no jokes. What about you? Give me £10,000 and you can have a back. Who is it? Anyone? Charlie Guy. No, seriously, if you know who it is, let me know. He's kidnapped my sister. Any information would be good. 2 years. I'm going to tell you, I've got ADHD, which stands for attention dinosaur hippo. Don't know, wasn't listening. What it means scientifically is if a moth comes into the market, now the gig's over. Literally just a man in his 30s on stage confused. The thing is, my brain and my mouth, they don't sync up. I've got stuff in my life I'm ashamed of saying. I'll tell you my top 3. Please don't judge me. Number 1, I once saw a homeless man, God bless him. He said, any change? Before I could think, I said, yes, thanks for noticing. I've had a haircut. It's not the worst one. I had a phone call off a call centre. This bloke said, he goes, hello, sir. have you had an accident in the last 4 years? And I said, well, yes, but we got him adopted. It's not the worst when I got stopped on the street by an old woman. And she was a proper old woman. She's like in the shape of a question mark. You know, the sort just coming along saying hello to their own knees. Like, she said, excuse me, love, do you believe in God? I said, not really, no. She said, come with me now and Jesus can save you by Christmas. To which I replied, find out a bit selfish, to be honest. Jesus hasn't spoken to me all year. Now his bloody birthday's coming up. The thing is, right, sometimes I just say the wrong things and it gets me in trouble. 2 years ago, I was at a train station. I didn't have my contacts and I'm blind about my contacts. What I wanted to say to the man next to me was, excuse me, can you tell me what time the train's coming? I'm blind about my contacts. But I just said, excuse me, mate, can you tell me what time the train's coming? I'm blind. And stopped talking for a bit too long. Before I could correct myself, this bloke went, yes, mate, hang on, the train's there. I'll help you. He linked my arm and started walking me to the bloody train. I'm now being walked on a platform by a bloke that I don't know. And I'm just thinking, well, stuff it, I've been too deep. Because you can't tell someone you're not blind 4 seconds after telling you're blind. Because now you're lying about a disability. I got on the train, I thought it can't get any worse, it did. I got on the train, he sat next to me. He was also going from London to bloody Swansea. 4 hours of my life I had to pretend I was blind. There were people texting me, couldn't answer. I was just there staring at the safety instructions. We got to Neath, one stop away from where I was going. And I thought, I don't care, I'm going to laugh. He helped me off in Swansea. I said, thanks, mate, where's my dog? Why not? I'm probably the only man that's in this market that stared at safety instructions for 4 hours of his life. But next time you're on a Great Western, have a look, it'll blow your minds. I swear to God, it says, in the event of an emergency or a crash, inform either a member of staff or the driver. Now, I didn't expect much from a train journey. Give me a cup of coffee, smooth ride, I'm happy. But the one thing I'd like is if there's been a crash, I'd like the driver to know about that before me. That's not my responsibility. I don't work for the company. I don't even know how that would work physically. Just imagine being in that crash, just bang. Ah, no. I think I broke my hip, boys. Hang on, I'll be back now. Hello? Ah, are you the driver? Yeah? Don't mean to disturb you, but there's been a crash. And then he goes, oh, I was wondering why I was outside. Of course there's been a crash. So I'm from Swansea. Normally when I do stand-up, I whinge about how rough Swansea is, but I've just realised I'm in Newport. Like, I know Swansea's rough, right? Because I saw someone get a mobility scooter stolen from outside the pub. Like, and that's bad in its own, but when I tell you mobility scooters only go 8 miles an hour, that's even more funny, because this poor bloke had to watch his own scooter leave for 13 bloody minutes. By the time the police turned up, you could still see it in the distance. The police officer was cheeky. He said, oh, has your scooter got any distinguishing features? And this bloke quick as a flash went, well, yes, it seems to be getting smaller every bloody second. So before I go and come and join the guys over here, I just want to say, if you fancy a laugh at any time in your life, right, all you're going to do, very easy, right? Wait for like a family member or a friend to go to hospital for a minor operation, right? Nothing serious, right? Just before they go to sleep, for a laugh, say, I love you, I'll be here when you wake up, right? As soon as they close their eyes, run home, change your clothes, dye your hair silver, just get back to the hospital as soon as they open their eyes. It's been 21 years! I'm Simon Emmanuel, thank you very much.
Well, you're watching Red Wall and Tour live across FAW socials, and we're here live from Newport Market.
We certainly are, and yeah, we've got some special guests. You've just heard Simon Emmanuel there. You enjoy that, Simon?
Yeah, it's all right, yeah.
Fantastic, yeah, good reception as well, happy days. And we've still got TJ Ruby, who's still here. Unfortunately, you have missed Big Nev, but he was fantastic. And do you know what? I hate giving this guy a warm welcome. It's John Morgan. It's the famous famous John Morgan from Tinty and the Bucket Hats.
Well, of course, you've got a new single out, and we're going to see a little preview of it now before we see the full version later.
Oh, is it going on there? Is it? Oh, here we go then.
It's not that good, don't you know?
Because they're the longest serving club, having been formed in 1975.
Some very good players. Some of them I was playing for Wales with at the time, so I was encouraged to come here. I was playing at a high level in my previous club. I'm born in Cardiff as well, so it was coming home really.
The international link for Cardiff City Ladies is incredible. It is a plethora of players that they have produced over the years.
I couldn't wait to come home to tell my dad about my cap because they didn't know that I was going to play at the time, and my brother was actually on Bristol City's books, so he was very pleased that his little sister had won a cap.
Michelle and Karen are still involved in this club, and it's absolutely fantastic. The volunteers, the opportunity they've given us in terms of international level, the exposure to other players. I've met them, my best friend from this club, and still are. The legacy this club holds is amazing.
That wasn't Tinty and the Bucket Hats, but yeah. I don't think it was. Anyway, John, was that the song?
I hope not, otherwise we need to go back to our marketing department.
But, I mean, you know, just talk us through the song. I mean, absolutely amazing. You've had some good feedback, I've seen.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. So it all started, it was actually before the Ukraine game. We've seen that Waka Waka was popularised among the players and among the fans. And we said it as soon as we had the game, we just knew what we had to do. We knew we had to record it, and we just said that all as a band before the game finished. We're going to qualify, we're recording that. And then halfway through the process of recording, we thought, it's not Welsh enough. I mean, it's great that we've added our own lyrics, and we've obviously got it speaking in that's me, look at that. I was on the bridge, at the transporter. Good industrial Newport, tropical Newport. But yeah, with the song, we thought it wasn't Welsh enough. It didn't have enough Cymru in it, so we thought it's actually had a song that it was kind of not dying out. It wasn't as well sung on the terraces, which was Men of Harlech. We've added that in there to really give that punch and that oomph. So it was our own take on Bohemian Rhapsody, and yeah, it's gone down just as flat as well.
It's levels, isn't it?
Levels,
like Alice Cooper played the Swampy Arena, and you guys got to play the Newport Bridge, so it's levels, mate. Levels.
I was just going to say, it looked like you were playing a benefit concert for a shipping union. But yeah, no, I quite enjoyed that. Really good.
Well, of course, we are in Qatar now. You know, we're not going, we are actually there. But are you guys excited?
It's strange. Like, it's probably only just hit me now, seeing this many Welsh fans all together. Now it feels real. It feels like we actually are going to Qatar. We've seen all the stuff of the players going there. It's lovely. And now we're all seeing other videos of fans actually going there, the little clips. And I just hope it's a great World Cup for many reasons. But I hope it's a safe World Cup and a great World Cup for Cymru.
Well, do you know, I'm excited, but I'm excited for a weird reason. I'm excited for the fact that they took Johnny Whittington.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, because I feel like, yes, he can do a job, but it feels like, you know, when you get a young stag party and they take the old man from the pub. He can't really drink anymore, but he brings morale, and that's what it is. That's why I'm excited. If he gets on the pitch, I'll be delighted.
I mean, it's just amazing that he's going in. You couldn't leave him out, could you? Let's be honest.
I'd love it.
And any plans for the World Cup? Are you going out to Qatar, or are you going to watch from home?
Well, I'm going to be bizarrely in Spain working when we play England, so that will be brilliant. What I will do is put my Welsh top on and watch it in an English bar. That's exactly what I'll probably be the only one there, but I'm sure the Spanish have got my back.
What are your plans for the World Cup? Where will you be watching?
I think for the Iran game that kicks off at 10, I'm going down to the depot in Cardiff for an all day. Hopefully we get a good result from now on. But yeah, we can't wait to watch all the games.
For the England-Wales game, our team Cardiff, we're all watching it together, I think, so that'll be interesting because it's like half and half Wales versus England.
Well, amazing things, but Firstly, John, where did Tinty and the Bucket Hats come from? Explain to us, where did that come from? Who thought of that?
A long time ago, back when I was about 13 or 14, I am going to mention his name. There's a lad called Binky, and for his sins, he decided one day when I was in school, I'm talking not even a day, like half an hour, the sun was gleaming, and my hair slightly auburn, and in that light it looked a slight tint of ginger. So he called me Ginger Tint, and he called me all year and all the next year, and eventually dropped the ginger bit. They just called me Tint, then went, oh, do you know what, Tinty, and that is it. So he was like, oh, Ginger Tint. Now who's laughing out, Binky? Yeah, now who's laughing out? Tinty and the Bucket Hat's taking the world on. Love you, Bing.
In terms of nicknames, it's probably not the best you've ever heard. You must have heard some funny nicknames to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I've heard some brilliant nicknames. There was a kid in school who had psoriasis. His name was Bryce. They called him Bryce Krispies, which I thought was genius. So that I went to a proper rough school. I will, but you know, like I feel for you, right? Because this is coloured. I'm actually properly ginger, and I've been ginger my entire life. And
that's not ginger, is it?
No. And people ask me, how have I got the time to watch the World Cup? I'm like, I'm ginger, as if I'm doing anything else on the weekends.
Of course, you're a comedian and a massive football fan as well, but do you feel like comedy kind of plays a role in football as well? Like, how do you see it?
I mean, comedy certainly plays a role in football if you're a Swansea City supporter and a Wales supporter. I mean, we've not been good for a long time, have we?
Being a Cambridge fan, still half a minute with us.
Yeah, I think comedy and football, they both feel a sort of a working class thing. Both things are. Yeah, they've got very, very, very similar energies, I think.
Who would you say is the biggest jokers then in the Wales squad? Who do you think?
I don't know. I don't know too much about the personalities of the Welsh squad, to be honest. I know that we've got a few Swansea City players in, and Cabango's been known to play a few pranks on the Swans players. But I mean, our manager is the biggest joke of them all, so that's fine. Not the Wales manager, not Robert Page. Oh my God, I've come on you and it's something. I met the Swansea manager. That's what I meant.
He's quick to distance himself from that, wasn't he? Yeah, fair play. But no, I mean, you talk about like. It's a lot of it with football. It's like gallows humour, isn't it? You laugh. Some of the funniest times I've had as a Wrexham fan was when we were losing like 9-0 at home to Dagenham and Redbridge.
Yeah.
Just incredible memories. And how can you not laugh and have a laugh with stuff like that?
Yeah, I know, you've got to. Can I just say as well, I am massively jealous of the Hollywood takeover in Wrexham. I'm just counting the days until Shirley Bassey by Swansea.
I'd love to see that, to be fair.
Fantastic.
And what about you girls? Any jokers in the Cardiff City ladies team?
TJ's probably our biggest joker on our team. She loves winding people up.
Any pranks you can tell us about?
I don't think I'm already practiced. Just love like hiding their boots or just staring at them, like anything to annoy them. I just love it. It's good character building.
Well, of course, speaking of the Cardiff City ladies team, we did see the trailer a little bit earlier, but we're going to play it again just so we can show everyone again what exactly it is about. It'll be available on Red Ball Plus, the new platform, home of Welsh football. So let's see it now.
Cardiff City ladies are historically significant because they're the longest serving club, having been formed in 1975.
Some very good players. Some of them I was playing for Wales with at the time, so I was encouraged to come here. I was playing at a high level in my previous club. I'm born in Cardiff as well, so it was coming home really.
The international link for Cardiff City ladies is incredible. There's a plethora of players that they have produced over the years.
I couldn't wait to come home to tell my dad about my cap, because they didn't know that I was going to play at the time, and my brother was actually on Bristol City's books, so he was very pleased that his little sister had won a cap.
Michelle and Karen are still involved in this club, and it's absolutely fantastic. The volunteers, the opportunity they've given us in terms of international level, the exposure to other players. I've met them, my best friend from this club, and still are. The legacy this club holds is amazing.
Well, yeah, you'll be able to see that on the Red Ball Plus. But girls, how excited are you to see it based on your club, a historic club?
Yeah, I I think we have so much history in the club that it'd be good to see it as a documentary. And for like some of the players, including us, we don't know exactly everything that happened previously with our club. So it'd be really good to inform us on, you know, where we've come from.
Yeah, it's really important, I think, to show the history of the club to everyone and show how hard they've fought for it to be where it is now.
So many inspiring characters have come from your club, Wales internationals. That must be inspiring for you girls as well.
Yeah, and it's important to show that people from our club can make it in international teams. And even now with Carol, our goalkeeper, playing for Wales and starting as their number one, it's really good.
You know, maybe one day we can see you girls going further, playing internationally as well.
Yeah, you never know what will happen.
Looking ahead now, of course, the World Cup is almost upon us. USA first up. What are you going to expect?
Why not? Why can't we go to the win? I'm sorry, but we need to put one over on the Americans. I mean, the amount of time we're gonna have to go there now. But the amount of time, I used to live in America, and I'm gonna have to bring us some personal stories. When I was graduating over there, they had every single flag of every single nation over there, American International Uni and all that, and they didn't have a Welsh flag, and they made me, well, I distance myself, and they made me stand on the English flag to be represented under England. And I thought, yeah, that's why I want Wales to beat USA, because I was made to be felt that I was English. When he was English, not xenophobic, just, yeah, that one is personal.
That is literally the only reason you want Wales to win.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing else. No, not just great for the club, or not club. But why am I club? Not great for international football. I just want to win, so I can go 1-0 me.
Fantastic, absolutely brilliant. That's Ronnie O'Sullivan's best mate, by the way. It's, yeah, private joke. Yeah, but Simon, I mean, there's a school of thought. There's a lot of people saying that America's going to be the toughest game in the group. What do you think about the 3 games?
Well, bizarrely enough, I've got my own personal story about America. A few years ago, I used to live in America, and I used to pretend to be American, put an accent on. I followed John around, called him English for 2 years. So we've got to stay on the side. So I'm going to be supporting America for that one. No, I think we're going to do them. Obviously, they've got stronger as the World Cups have gone on, but I think we've got enough about us, and we are still really an unknown like team. Like in terms of, I remember in the Euros when we went on that run, and what they didn't expect from us was the togetherness and that sort of that grit in our teeth. And I think it'll be the same again this World Cup. I think we'll do them.
Well, we haven't got long to find out, of course. Monday evening, 7 p.m, we'll find out the hopes of Wales, whether we will win against USA, and fingers crossed we can. But listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our audience here in Newport Market, and thanks to you as well, Tommy. Of course, we've got our next Red Roland Tour live on in Cardiff, the Club Evo Bath on 22nd of November. Incredible guests lined up: Ian Walsh, David Giles, Cardiff City women's star Fionn Price, actress Elena Cole, and under-17s Wales star. And we've got amazing music from Los Blancos. But playing us out tonight, of course, John, it's incredible, Tinty and the Bucket Hats.
Here we go.
It's my son's piano.
Now, waka waka Camry, feel the spirit of 58 now. We're going to Qatar. Story ain't over, it's only beginning. Been in our backside for the camp, but welcome on yield now. Here together, the country is watching. We never pretend, we fight to the end. The 58's better red. The dragons roar, you feel it. We're still here, I believe it. When before you get up, hit before you get up, Simon, we're going to Qatar. Simon, we're here, waka, now. Feel the spirit of 58 now. We're going to Qatar. Simon, we're here, waka, now. Feel the spirit of 58 now. We're going to Qatar. Annibyniaeth chalon lan llawn daioni y grysau coch y ddraig yn rio chwarae fel tîm I cyd a bob un sgorio dros Gymru ti'n teimlo tan y ddraig yma o gyd oedd y barau gorau chwarae cyd chwarae dyma nateri y wad o Gymru We're going to Qatar, Samina, we're here, waka waka Gymru build the spirit of 58 now We're going to Qatar, Samina, we're here, waka waka Gymru build the spirit of 58 now We're going to Qatar Aye, From the hill rebounding, the Lord is on my sounding. Sounding out the coming of the mighty force surrounded. Men of power gone to glory, this will ever be your story. He is burning with me, for me, what's burned will not yield. Coming way, waka waka Camry, feel the spirit of 58 now. We're going to get down, coming now, way, waka waka Camry. Coming way, waka waka Camry, feel the spirit of 58 now. We're going to get down, coming now, way, waka waka Camry, feel the spirit of 58 now. We're going to get down. We're going to Qatar. We're going to Qatar. One, two, three, warrior!
Every shirt has its own story. I want to explore the stories that represent our history, our culture, and our future.
We don't have to follow that kind of, affiliated, constrained, branding of football, and actually we're here with Queer and we're just going to do our own thing.
I might be the manager, but I'm not different from any supporter or player, or we've all got the same responsibility. We all got to bring everybody together, but it's not the players, it's not the management, it's everybody.
Hi, I'm Gemma Granger, Cymru Women's National Team Manager.
And then you see the referee put the whistle to his mouth, and that was the best feeling ever.
Every shirt has its own story. I want to explore the stories that represent our history, our culture, and our future.
The idea was basically to create a jersey that we hadn't necessarily seen before, that obviously spoke sort of that sort of zeitgeist of Wales and what they sort of stand for. Spoke about the national identity, so the graphic sort of gives an impression or speaks that sort of dragon scale, so it's wearing that your dragon on your shirt.
Yeah.
So it's not just the crest, but obviously you're embodying the dragon.